Welcome to another quick review and install. Today we are going to look at this SimPure Q3-600 reverse osmosis UV light tankless system. Boy, that's a mouthful. This thing does an awful lot. Now, the biggest problem you have when you're looking at these reviews for these is people can give you all of the stats, which you can read, but they're not going to be able to actually show you how it's installed, because it's hard to show that underneath the cabinet. Well, I have moved my cabinet out of the way, and this is the blank wall in the kitchen. I have my water inlets coming in over here. I have the drain right behind here. I'm going to show you in a minute how I hook it up. It's extremely easy and extremely quick. But let's go ahead and just hit a few of the highlights just so you know what this unit can do. Now, this is an 8-stage system that will filter down to 0.0001 microns. It'll remove 99.99% of over 1,000 different substances. That is an extremely efficient system. The UV light, like I said, is built in. Everything is built into the unit. The actual filters are easy to take out. This panel just slides on the side. I have it taken out on purpose just so I can show you where the filters go. There's just 2 of them right here. They simply will unsnap here and pull right out. You're going to get the unit, you're going to get the filters, you're going to get all the tubing to hook it up, and you're going to get the stainless steel faucet that will mount on top of your counter. So it's a all-inclusive system that works very, very well. Now, this thing is so fast that it will literally fill a cup of water up in 8 seconds. Now, that's fast for reverse osmosis, especially without a tank holding the excess water. It has a 2-to-1 pour to drain ratio, meaning that it's very efficient as far as the wastewater. This red line here is the line that goes to the waste. So anytime you have reverse osmosis, it cleans the water and you have wastewater that gets dumped. And a lot of those are very inefficient. This is an extremely efficient unit. As far as the filters go, one other thing is it is toolless. You don't have to have any tools to actually pull those out. Like I said, it's just a clip, pull the filter out. Put the new one in, it snaps, you're ready to rock and roll. All right, so that's the basics of the unit. There's a lot more things that you can read about on it as well, but there are a couple of things that you need to keep in mind if you're going to install this, things you need to plan for. One is it has to have a dedicated power source. So if you have a plug underneath your sink and that goes to your garbage disposal, it is not going to work because that is a switched plug. Meaning that I flip the switch off, it turns the power off the plug, which turns off my garbage disposal, which means that it would turn this off as well. So what you're going to need to do is plug it into something like your dishwasher side over here, or run a dedicated plug for the unit. So that's one thing you got to keep in mind. If you are not going to put this underneath your sink and you're going to put it in a remote location and it is just going to feed water for, say a coffee bar, and you have a drain and you don't have another sink there, just this, you are going to need to cap off the other end of the actual fitting that ties into the wall. So if you are going to have to do that, I used a 3/8 inch outer diameter cap, and this is a compression fitting. Also, one last thing, if you want to take this and you want to attach it to your refrigerator and get water for your refrigerator or ice for the refrigerator, this kit will not do that out of the box. You will need to contact the manufacturer, let them know what refrigerator that you have and your requirements, and they will get you a kit with an extended hose, and there's probably about 5 or 6 other fittings that they're going to get you so that you can get all of that hooked up and working. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to walk you through setting this thing up real quick and show you how fast it actually sets up. It's extremely easy. So let's do that. So this is going to be my cold water. Generally it's always on the right, hot is on the left. So I don't even have the hot hooked up right now, just the cold. There is water going to it. I have just a temporary trap set up just to kind of give you an idea of how the drain part works. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to hook up the adapter. This adapter already has the cap on it. I explained earlier that is where you will run your line to your sink. Now before we put this on, we're going to want to put a little Teflon tape on there. They give you some tape, so we're going to go ahead and use theirs. I'm going to pull out a nice little chunk about like that, and you want to make sure you go in the same direction that you're going to twist it on so you don't untwist it. So in other words, the end ends in the same direction. It's usually going to be clockwise. And we start working around it. Just like that. And what you want to make sure of is you try to keep the Teflon out of the area where the water is going to flow, so it stays out of your actual faucet itself so it doesn't clog anything. So now we take it, we're going to apply this. Now this is made to swivel. It'll lock into place wherever you stop it. So we're going to want it here, say in this area, so you guys can see how it hooks up. So I'm going to try to hold it out there. Hopefully we got enough Teflon tape on it. Let's see. There we go. And tighten her down. Alright, so now this is on like this, it's off, so let's turn on the water, see if that was enough Teflon. That looks great, holding fine. Alright, so we're going to turn it back off, and we are going to start installing our line. So we bring the unit over to us, and we have wastewater, inlet water, and we have outlet. So we want to do our inlet. Let's look for the inlet hose. This one is going to be inlet water, white. So this is going to be coming from our actual unit here. So we're going to take it. Both ends look the same. Pushes like that. So basically the little nut pulls backwards, guys, it slides on, and then this slides over the nut. And I believe this is going to be more of a compression as it tightens. There we go. Seems to be pretty tight. Alright, so now we're going to look on the unit itself, and we need inlet water, which is here. If they have these little plugs, we're going to pull that out, and this should just slide right in. Bingo, that is in. Alright guys, so the next thing we want to do is hook up the outlet, and the outlet is going to be the blue line, and that is going to go up to our stainless steel faucet that they supply. You're going to need to drill your hole in the top, unless you already have a hole there, and you place this. They're going to give you some little anchor pieces where you'll tighten it down to your top so that it isn't moving. It's a quarter turn unit, works really great. It simply slides in just like our inlet water did on to the left of it. So you will use the adapter. You put the adapter on like that, and then you will put the other end in here, and now this is ready to actually rock and roll. So the wastewater one works very simple, just like the others. It's a smaller line. The red one, it's going to go in the front here. You just push it in. They give you a saddle. The saddle is going to clamp over your waistline. Now it needs to be above the trap and away from your garbage disposal. I'll give you a diagram that explains exactly where that goes, but it's very simple. You're going to drill the hole. They give you a little sticker that you put on it. It shows you exactly how to drill the hole. You just follow the instructions with that, clamp it down with the two sides. It's a Phillips screw, and slide this into place, and you're ready to rock and roll. We're not going to do that here because I don't have that part hooked up. So we're going to put this into the actual container here so that we can test it. So it's going to have water going in here, and this is what we are going to actually fill up. So we should be able to actually start. The only thing we have left now, I brought a power cord over because my power obviously isn't hooked up yet. And we are going to hook this up to the unit. It is just a simple connection, and there's a spot right in the back that slides into, and then this plugs in, and basically it is a power transformer unit. So just like that, and you can see it's starting up right now. UV light, everything is working. Now we are going to go ahead and start feeding some water. You can see right now we are running a little bit of water in here. It's actually filtering through and filling up the filters to be ready to go. This will work. We're going to turn it on here in just a second. A couple of things I want to point out. There are some little clips that you can put right here over the lines, which will lock these in so they do not accidentally come undone. Now, we'll take it, we'll turn it on, and there you go. That's how fast it actually fills up. That is really quick, especially considering there's not really a tank. Now you're supposed to let this actually run for about 20 minutes the first time you use it, so to get rid of all of those filter tastes and things like that. But you can see as I do that and I'm running it, you can see how fast the actual wastewater is coming out as well. As soon as I shut it off, it goes off. So really, setting it up was extremely easy. Basically, inlet line, which goes to the faucet that they supply. You have the water line, which is going to be white, which goes to your line with their connector. I have a little bit of a drip here because I do not have that sealed all the way. And you have your red line, which is going to be the waste, and you have the saddle, which will go on here. So there you go, guys. It's installed. Super simple, super quick. Nothing really to it. I hope that not having a cabinet there made it easier for you to see just how easy that it installs. The one thing that I didn't do, and I don't remember if I actually mentioned it, but you have little clips you need to put on the tops of these to make sure they do not pop off under water pressure. Outside of that, though, super, super easy. I don't think it could be any easier. I install a lot of reverse osmosis systems, and I will tell you none of them install as easy and as quickly as this one did. So do yourself a favor, pick yourself up one today. Don't think you'll regret it. We'll see you guys on the next one.